Hello and welcome to Newsroom series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. A very happy Easter celebration to you. The Cross River State Police has confirmed the abduction of 3 University of Calabar students in Calabar, the state capital. The police public relations officer in the state command, Irene Ogbe, who explained that the command and other agencies are doing everything possible to ensure the release of the 3 students. Further says the 3 students were identified as Ojang Precious Ebijin, a 200-level student of the Department of Medicine and Surgery, Ugu Chukwuemeka, a 300-level student of the Department of Genetics and Biotechnology, and Damilola Dixon, a final-year student of the same department. Governor Agu Kefas of Taraba State is insisting that his administration will probe those responsible for vandalism and liquidation of the state government's companies. The governor made this known during an inspection tour of the greenhouse facilities in Jalingo, the state capital, allegedly mismanaged and vandalized by workers during the previous administration. He stressed that his administration will revive and reposition the greenhouse facilities and other moribund companies of the state to boost IGR and create employment opportunities, thereby utilizing the funds accrued to fund his free education policies. The federal government has approved the disbursement of 25 billion naira to the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and the National Health Insurance Authority for the enhancement of healthcare delivery to Nigerians. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, made this known while reaffirming the commitments of the present administration to transforming healthcare system to attain universal healthcare coverage for Nigerians. It highlights the need for the reforms in the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, adding that all states and federal capital territory as well have committed to a remediation plan pledging to improve health services for Nigerians. According to Professor Pate, the guidelines will be revised to cover health services rendered to the indigent population while aiming to reduce maternal mortality rates, out-of-pocket payments, and standardized quality of healthcare across primary healthcare facilities. And in the spirit of the Easter celebrations, men, women, and children from rural communities in the northern part of Cross River State had cause to celebrate with smiles as the burden of assessing healthcare facilities got lifted off their shoulders for the time being. The season, which comes with a spirit of giving, especially to the less privileged, got beneficiaries receiving treatment of all sorts of ailments, as well as the provision of surgical services to those diagnosed with different health conditions by medical professionals. And our focus on Newsroom series today is the southwest region of the country. Beginning in Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde is felicitating with Christians in the state and across Nigeria on the occasion of Easter. Governor Makinde, who congratulated Christians on witnessing another season, called on Christians to use the occasion to pray for Oyo State and Nigeria, as well as the leadership. According to the governor, it's become important to engage in more prayers and supplications for the country and the state amidst the current economic situation. He also charged Christians to imbibe the lessons of love and sacrificial living taught through Jesus Christ's death and resurrection, saying it's important for Christians now more than ever before to put into place and practice the lessons of love and sacrificial living of Jesus. Meanwhile, the state chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, your state chapter, Apostle Joshua Akinyemiju, admonishes Christians to face the challenges facing the country with fasting and prayer, even as they imbibe a life of sacrifice like Jesus did. Meanwhile, Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State is telling Nigerians to be hopeful of a better tomorrow and to have faith in the country's current leadership. The governor explained that Nigeria is gradually coming out of her dire situation, with all indices pointing at total economic recovery. In his message to mark the Easter celebrations, Governor Dapo Abiodun called on Nigerians to remain resilient and steadfast in the face of economic challenges, which will fizzle out soon, according to him. It says the Easter period, which celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ, brings renewed hope, joy, and blessings, adding that Nigerians should use the occasion to work together with dedication for a better country. Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State has inaugurated the 6-kilometer Owode Road in Obafemi Owode local government in Ogun Central Senatorial District of the state. Speaking during the ceremony held at the premises of the Anglican Secondary School in Owode, the governor assured residents of more infrastructure development.
This is a 6-kilometer arterial road that links to Abeokuta, the state capital, Owode and Ofada in Obafemi Owode local government of the state. For several years, the road has remained impassable as a result of its deplorable nature and outright neglect by past administrations, but all is now history. The arrival of the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, his Kwara state counterpart, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, joined members of the Ogun State House of Assembly, members of the National Assembly, traditional rulers, marketmen and women signaled the commencement of the unveiling of the road. Traditional rulers, leaders of Toth, commended the state government for the strategic development drive in the state.
Even what you have been doing during your second time now has even surpassed your first term of administration. Your Excellency, you are making us proud as a party. You are making us proud as people of Ogun State. God will continue to strengthen you and give you wisdom to do more and more.
The governor of Kwara State, who was also a special guest of honor at the occasion, appreciated the governor for his developmental strides. He, however, asked residents to take ownership of the road infrastructure.
I'm aware that this project is just one of several infrastructural projects being undertaken by this administration and fits nicely into the renewed hope infrastructural agenda of Mr. President. I therefore thank His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for his commitment to the welfare of the people of the state. I also congratulate the people of this community on this development.
The state government, who could not hide its feelings, promised more critical development across the state in order to attract more investments.
We will continue to prioritize construction. We have harvested priority roads in each local government. And we can see that things are getting better in Nigeria. We can see that our president, in line with his renewable promise and policies, have begun to implement programs that have now begun to bring us respite. Now you will now see us beginning our reconstruction all over again.
Governor Abiodun, as well as his Kwara State counterpart, led other important personalities to unveil the 6-kilometer road for the people's use.
In a concerted effort to ensure its safety and regulatory compliance, the Lagos State Vehicle Inspection Service conducted a comprehensive enforcement operation on Wednesday targeting unroadworthy vehicles across the state. Ikeja Area Commander of Vehicle Inspection Service, Mr. Ayeni Adiola, says the operation resulted in the seizure of over 50 rickety commercial vehicles that failed to meet prescribed minimum roadworthiness standards as seen in their brakes, wipers, lights, shocks, and tires, as stipulated in the state's Transport Sector Reform Law 2018.
These yellow-painted commercial buses have existed in Lagos State for decades and remain one of the most popular means of transportation around the metropolis. While many people rely heavily on them to get around on a daily basis, they also constitute great danger to the safety of residents because of the lack of maintenance. That chapter is about to close as the Lagos State Vehicle Inspection Service begins a comprehensive enforcement operation targeting vehicles that are not fit to be on the roads. The operation kicks off from Alausa Ikeja and extends to Towing Street, Maryland, Ojota, Ojedubega, as officers inspect rickety commercial vehicles plying Lagos roads. Some of the commercial operators try to resist. Over 50 vehicles failed to meet the prescribed minimum roadworthiness standards.
By the time we stop any vehicle, the first thing we demand for is driving license. And then we look at the physical appearance of the vehicle. What are the physical appearances? The headlamp, navigator lights, windscreen, rear lights, side mirror. If those ones are defective, we have to impound the vehicle. Also, if you find out that the tires, when the tire doesn't have any ridges again or any line, it's susceptible to have an accident on a rainy day. So if you have a flat tire that doesn't have any ridges, we have to impound the vehicle and then make sure that vehicle do the needful before being released. We've been arresting 30 vehicles for almost about 80 or 90. I'm talking about my command. And my command has about 4 zones. My advice for motorists is to make sure that they put their vehicle in order. In what way? Make sure that they have valid particulars, valid driving license, and they make sure that all their lights, the physical appearance of the vehicle are okay.
This enforcement on commercial vehicles will become irregular and carried out routinely to rid the state of dangers posed to other commuters by drivers who are not safety conscious.
Welcome back. Increasing polio vaccines and routine immunization in Lagos State is the only way to reduce diseases amongst children. This was echoed at an advocacy dialogue organized by the Lagos State Primary Health Care Board in collaboration with United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund in Ikeja, Lagos.
The Lagos State Primary Health Care Board, in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, is meeting with traditional rulers and local government area stakeholders to deliberate on ways to increase trust and the coverage of polio vaccine, as well as routine immunization across the state. The routine immunization achieved in Lagos last year is 88%, while the last polio vaccine coverage in December stands at 99%, which is still far below the country's target, despite significant intervention by government and immunization partners.
Hard-to-reach areas is one of those places where we don't find it easy to get the children there immunized.
As part of plans to increase the figure, the people at the grassroots are being engaged on the need to take the immunization advocacy to their communities.
Immunization is something that is very important, and it's something that protects life. It's something that ensures that our children do not die young. We'll continue to count on your support in ensuring that we increase the uptake of immunization in our community.
You know, for UNICEF, we stand for the fulfillment of all rights of the child, all rights of the child. But before you talk about other rights, the child must survive. And in the journey to survival, immunization plays key roles, which incidentally is free. That all the institutions within the communities rally together to ensure that it's delivered to that child at the right time.
Immunization is an important aspect for the growth of any child, a major assignment for the World Health Organization, which is encouraging people to do better for their children and the state in general.
Immunization coverage in Lagos is gradually going down. Lagos has always been in the first, second position previous years when it comes to immunization. But where are we finding ourselves now? We are seeing ourselves 20 position, 18 position, 16 position, which is not good for us. We are a center of excellence, and we want to remain so. We know that for us to achieve this, we need the commitment of every segment of people that are here.
The traditional rulers show commitment in supporting the initiative to eradicate the diseases across all local government areas in the state.
We are indeed committed to the cause, of promoting our child health care. We want to let the whole world know that as much as the traditional institutions are concerned, in Lagos State in particular, we are there for all government agencies to explore the avenue already created within our institution so that we can reach out to the grassroots.
I promise from my heart that so far I'm still living, I'm going to serve them, I'm going to work for them, for all the children in Lagos State.
We need to go from door to door to invite mothers to come and bring their children for immunization.
Improving polio vaccine and routine immunization in Lagos State is a collective effort between government and the people, and the Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board and its community partners look forward to positive changes from nursing mothers across all communities in the state.
Now, from there, all levels to admit that the increasing rate of unintended pregnancies and unsafe abortion must be halted by committing resources to close the identified gaps in availability, accessibility, and use of contraceptives. This formed part of recommendations at the end of a two-day national conference on unintended pregnancy and unsafe abortion in Nigeria, which took place in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital.
The 2018 National Demographic Health Survey of 2018 puts contraceptive use amongst women of reproductive age at 12%, and not much has changed in this statistic since then. These statistics and the need to change the narrative necessitate the first national conference on unintended pregnancy and unsafe abortion in Nigeria, with partnership between the Academy for Health Development, Center for Research, Evaluation, Resources and Development, the academia, the media, health practitioners, the government, and other stakeholders. Intense discussions are underway on how to tackle the menace of unwanted pregnancy and unsafe abortion.
Government need to admit that there is a problem, and secondly, more resources need to be committed on how we can close the gap between women who desire pregnancy, they don't want to be pregnant, and women who actually use contraceptive. That's where the real problem is. How do we encourage women who do not want to be pregnant to use contraceptive? A number of things must happen. One, the women must be aware that these contraceptives are available. They must be encouraged to use them. And those contraceptives must be at a cost that is affordable.
Unintended births, while not necessarily as dangerous as unsafe abortion, it also has its own negative consequences. Because when you compare unintended births to intended births, women who have unintended births, they usually have poor health-seeking behavior.
Sexual rights.
Experts say research shows that unsafe abortions account for 30 to 40% of pregnancy-related deaths in Nigeria. This is worrisome.
These two problems are creating a lot of challenges for our women. Unsafe abortion, for example, account for 30 to 40% of the women who die from pregnancy-related issues. So we have brought this group together to say what do we know about from research and what can be done to solve this problem.
More than 60 professionals from different fields of human endeavor who make up this coalition believe that awareness must be increased and sustained on the use of contraceptives.
There's high level of illiteracy going on. A number of people are unaware of the consequences of their actions and their inactions. And for those that are even sometimes aware, there is a high level of poverty rate that is also affecting a number of people, thereby increasing their susceptibility and vulnerability, even in making decisions that they know fully that may also compromise their health.
The government must also scale up its involvement, especially in the area of funding and driving initiatives and policies to work effectively.
The government is really trying to ensure that family planning is available and accessible to all in the state, especially women of reproductive age. You know, when you go for family planning, definitely you are going to prevent unintended or unwanted pregnancies.
At the end of the conference, the stakeholders conclude that there is an urgent need to include more men in reproductive health issues and also scale up awareness on the need for contraceptive use as the easiest way to avoid or at least reduce deaths of women and children arising from poor, uninformed choices on sexual health.
Finally, in education, the founder of Babalola University, advocacy, Chief Babalola, is asking Nigerian teachers across all cadres of education to desist from teaching in verbatim in order to impact knowledge effectively into students. He stated this at the opening ceremony of a two-day faculty advancement and success training series on modern teaching methods and pedagogy organized by the Babalola University, advocacy. He restated his determination and commitment to making the institution a first-class university in Nigeria and the world.
A teacher is not to dictate what he wants students to know. A teacher's duty is to master the subject, one, two, prepare most of the lesson out of it, and give the students in advance the subject that they'll be able to work together in what we call interactive teaching. That is a modern method, interactive teaching. A teacher, properly so called, has a number of characteristics and attributes. He must have quality education. He must be master of a subject. Otherwise, you see, in these days, students who use modern telephone can embarrass you and ask questions you don't know. You must have interest and take teaching as a vocation. Most of us take it because we have another job to do. That's not right. You must be able to arouse the interest of your students. The subject matter. When you know a subject is finally difficult, don't go straight to the subject matter. You go around it. Let them have interest in what you want to say. That will lead to the most difficult one.
Just before we go, the Ogun State Police Command commenced the amnesty program for members of various cult groups who wanted to renounce that membership, just as 48 persons did so. Commissioner of Police Abiodun Alamutu revealed this in Shagamu, the Shagamu local government area of the state.
Land grabbing, ritual killings, and menace of cultism are the major security challenges being contended by residents in Ogun State, especially in Shagamu area in recent times. Innocent lives have been wasted during clashes between various cult groups, which the residents say is avoidable. 48 members of cult groups have renounced their membership while they surrender their arms and ammunition to the security agents.
We need to also ensure that if they are coming back, it must be on the terms acceptable to the community. Because I know that a lot of people in our community have been going on, bringing back these people. Are you sure it's not a mistake? We want to assure them that even if it is a mistake, time will tell, but we don't believe it's a mistake. It is better to take a decision than to run away from taking that decision.
Weapons submitted by some cultists who promise to turn a new leaf include 1 pump-action gun, 4 double barrels, 7 single barrel, 2 English pistols, 4 locally made pistols, and 35 cartridges.
And the press, thank you.
The State Commissioner of Police, who solicits for cooperation and understanding, says the window of opportunity would be replicated in other areas of the state.
We would only encourage members of the community so that they don't treat them as outcasts, because we know from experience that some of them found themselves in this fold ignorant. It was after they have been entrapped in it, they now understand what cultism is. And it's never easy to opt out because of fear of threat of attack and actual attack. But since now that they are bold enough to surrender, all we should do is to reintegrate them fully as legitimate and law-abiding members of the community.
Other security agents warn that non-state actors should embrace peace.
But we employ everybody that are into court to preach to the line of peace, so we can endeavor to have peace and the society will develop. Without it, like my senior colleague said, you cannot move forward.
The state government calls for renewed peace in the land.
We know that development can only strive where there is an atmosphere of peace. And that is what we are clamoring for here.
The police chief is asking all cult groups to use the window of amnesty program given to them to turn in all arms within their domain, within the ample time, in order to make the states peaceful.
And that's it on Newsroom Series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.